Hello, and welcome to the Art of Attracting High Ticket Clients on LinkedIn group. So, the question of today is, Miranda, can I really get high ticket clients from LinkedIn in as little as 48 hours from sending them an invite from cold traffic, from somebody who has never heard of me before and without having to have a referral? Listen, that is exactly what it is that we do here at Ninja Growth Strategies and what we help our clients do all the time as well. So I'm going to go into that with you today. Actually, the big piece number 4 with making that happen. So there are 5 big pieces to making that a reality. And whenever you get every step of that right, then without a doubt, your ideal client will go from not knowing who you are to thanking you for making them a high ticket offer so fast. So welcome everybody on here. That's what we're going to be covering today. And for those of you who are new to my work, let me just introduce myself really quick. My name is Miranda Love, and I'm the CEO and founder of Ninja Growth Strategies. And we're a business coaching company, and we specialize in helping experts create 6- and 7-figure profitable, portable coaching and mentoring businesses that they love. And I am also the international best-selling author of the book, The Keys, Unlock Your Dream Life. And so I have not been new to this. I'm not new to internet marketing or to the expert space. I've been an online entrepreneur now for 10 years. I've started and sold 2 prior businesses and was asked to coach. And here I am now helping other people figure out these things, and without having all that trial and error. So we have the reason why I started. Welcome, Ogden, Michael, Jim, Curtis, Carrie, Adrian, Shay, Clarence, Frank. Welcome. Welcome. Type hi in the comments. Let me know that you can hear me and everything's coming through okay. And we're going to dig right into today's lesson. Now, the reason why this lesson this week, I've been breaking it into the 5 big pieces. The reason why it came about was actually somebody here in this group. It was a new group member, and we were engaging in a messaging conversation, and he was like, there's no way that I would be able to get a high ticket client from LinkedIn in 48 hours. Like, that's just ridiculous. And he said it was because his mindset and his teaching said that that was just simply, thanks for saying hi, was that was just simply impossible, and that he would never do that. And honestly, or that you couldn't do it was his thinking. And of course, you know, if you think that you can or you think that you can't, either way that you are right. But our reality is, without a doubt, we do get high ticket clients from LinkedIn in as little as 48 hours from invite to connection to high ticket client. And our clients do as well. I'm actually going to just post in here. I'm going to post in here really quick a link to some of our testimonials where you can see it's not only happening just for us, it's happening for our clients as well. We've got tons of testimonials there and videos, and where we've interviewed our clients, many of them that are also getting these great results too. So it's not pie in the sky. It is a reality, but you have to get these 5 big pieces right for it to happen. And I'm going to cover the big piece number 4 today, and that is really one of the big pieces that you've got to have right. But just a quick little recap. Big piece number 1 is your offer. So I did a video in here yesterday where I kind of broke down in detail big piece number 1, 2, and 3 and what you needed to get right in each of those. So I'm not going to go into that right now in detail, but I just want to make sure that you do check out the live video that will be right next to this one in the resources. And if you're watching this on YouTube, it's probably the next playlist that we've got there for you. And I also have them broken into articles on LinkedIn, so I'll type those in here as well. So if you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay, and let me know. And you can just, some people might like to read better. I actually am more of a writer than a speaker. So I wrote these as lessons, individual lessons, and then I've shared them as LinkedIn articles, and here we are right now. So the very first one is you've got to have, the big piece number 1 is your offer. Big piece number 2 is your targeting to make this a reality, be able to attract high ticket clients from cold traffic on LinkedIn in as little as 48 hours and have them thank you whenever you get every piece of this right, instead of complaining or like, wait a minute, why did you offer, you know, that offer so fast? And no, instead of them complaining, they will thank you when you do it right. And that's what we're all about here, is helping you increase the amount of people that you're able to help and shorten that amount of time too, because if somebody is in pain and you can help them, and you decide just because of your mindset or some outdated strategies that you don't want to help them, then you're doing yourself and your clients a disservice without doing it this way. So you got to get these pieces right for it to work. And so targeting on LinkedIn, targeting is very, very, very important. So that's big piece number 2. It sounds like the lawn people are here. Perfect timing. So I might go close my door over there. But if y'all can hear me, let me know if you can still hear me okay. I've got some background noise coming through. But so that's targeting. Check out that article or that video as well. And then big piece number 3 is your messaging. You've got to get, once you've got your offer, you've got your target of who you can help the best with that offer, you've got to message specifically for them to get people interested. And again, I'm not going to go into that in too many details right now, but check out those resources for you where I go into those classes. So what we're going to talk about today and go into detail for is big piece number 4, which is your webinar, your secret weapon. That's how great it is and how powerful it is that we call it here at Ninja Growth Strategies and in my Business Coach Accelerator, the secret weapon. And it is without a doubt how you can make this happen, and it shortens the amount of time that they think that they need to know and like and trust you to do business with you. So big piece number 4, I'm just looking at my notes here, your secret weapon. Whenever you get it right, you're able to convert high ticket clients from cold traffic. And just make sure we all know that, cold traffic are people who don't know who you are and without having a referral. And when we're talking about high ticket, we're also talking about offers or programs that are, $5,000 more, $5,000, $10,000, even $25,000. So the way that you do this is you need to have one killer piece of content that establishes you as the authority at solving that unique targeted prospect's problems. And whenever you get this right and put it into a webinar, as we help our clients do in the Business Coach Accelerator, your ideal clients will see you as the only expert that they need and the only one who can help them. And they'll book a call with you and show up on that call pre-sold with their credit card in the hand and happily pay you, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 or more. And thank you for it, even whenever they just got a connection invitation from you just a few hours before. Woohoo! Let me know. Type in the comments and let me know if this has happened for you, or if you'd love to have an extra $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 in your account with new clients in the next 48 hours. Let me know. So when you get this wrong, though, and you're not getting this big piece right, and you don't have it converting for you, then people don't sign up for your webinar, or they sign up for your webinar but they just don't attend. They show up for the webinar but they drop off, or they watch the webinar but they don't book a call with you. What's worse, whenever you don't get your webinar right, is that they will ride off into the sunset thinking that they've got this covered on their own, or pay somebody else who's just a poor copycat version of you. Or what's worse is that they will truly stay stuck spinning their wheels and never get the help that they need. And this happens. I mean, yeah, it's bad that they don't become a client of yours and they don't pay you and you don't get the money and you don't get a chance to help somebody, but really think about them. I mean, you need to have this webinar converting correctly for them. So if you don't get it working properly, it's because you didn't use the webinar to properly establish your authority or to position yourself as the only expert that they need for them, or you probably talked too much on the webinar. You were digging down into the weeds, teaching them a bunch of things and made them think that, hey, they can do it on their own. Or you talked too much about you. So those are the 4 common problems of why the webinars don't convert. Again, I'll just recap those really quick. You didn't properly establish your authority. You didn't position yourself as the only expert for them, or you talked too much. You gave them too many things to think that they could do it on their own, or you talk too much about you. You spent, all the time telling how great you are and all these different other things, and really just kind of bragging too much, as opposed to incorporating that into your credibility at the right stages along the game. So the problem here is real, without a doubt. And if you do not get every bit of this right in your webinar, and every bit of this, the 5 big pieces to having a converting funnel, cold traffic from high ticket clients from cold traffic on LinkedIn, it is a real problem. And it's some people out there are thinking, oh, the webinar strategy doesn't work. Well, heads up, it doesn't work because they're not getting it right, or they've tried it but it just didn't work for them. And it's not because that the strategy doesn't work, it's just because it's not working for them. But for our clients who use the Ninja growth system and get my help implementing it side by side and literally slide by slide with their webinar in the Business Coach Accelerator, that we do that in module 5 of the Business Coach Accelerator, which is called Secret Weapon, it works like clockwork. And just to recap here, for those of y'all who may be new to the Ninja growth system and what is it that I'm talking about, it's a unique way that we reach out on LinkedIn to actually get clients interested and engaged and becoming them, get them on the phone and enrolling them into your program. So it's invite to a webinar, to a phone call, to a new client. And if you want to see that in detail, then I would recommend that you check out a free web class that I've got for you if you haven't watched that yet. And it's at ninjagrowthstrategies.com. I'll type the link here. And that is the free web class that is available for you. And go ahead and check that out. And that's where you'll see the Ninja growth system in action, as well as a total 5 shortcuts that you can use to making your next 6 figures this year on LinkedIn as a business coach without any advertising. And we're able to do these things working just 5 to 10 hours a week as well. So check that out if you haven't. And let's see, so that is what the Ninja growth system is. It's a simple automated LinkedIn webinar funnel that takes 48 hours or less from cold traffic into high ticket client on LinkedIn. So what parts of the webinar do you need to get right in your webinar funnel to have this be a success for you and a success for your clients as well? Because if you don't get a chance to help them, then they're turned off by your webinar or your marketing, then it's not going to be a success for them either. Because here at Ninja Growth Strategies, we're all about helping our clients get their client success, because whenever we do that, we get to help more people. So that's what really jazzes us up here, jazzes me up. So part 1 is you've got to first get your ideal prospects on the webinar, okay? If this happens with correct targeting and your correct LinkedIn message, which we did cover in big piece number 1 and big piece number 2, or big piece number 2 and number 3. So you got to get those right. So look at those lessons. But to get them on the webinar, you got to have the right targeting, and you've got to have the right message that will make them interested. And you've also got to have a compelling registration page copy. And copy, for those of y'all who don't know, is just the text or the words that's written to sell. And you want to make sure that that is very compelling for your, and very targeted, again, to your ideal client. And something interesting that seems newsworthy that they're going to want it to pop on. And you also want to make sure to get people on the webinar is that the length of time that they go from sign up to the time that the webinar starts, you really want to shorten that down, because if you're doing a webinar, you promote a webinar in a week or 2 from now, then people are just not going to show up. They're going to forget about it. You want to go ahead and really shorten that time as well. So part 2 of the webinar funnel that you've got to get right is you've got to keep them on the webinar. And I'm about to break this down into and give you, let's see how many there are. There's about 5 or 6, looks like about 7 or 8 key things that you need to do to get people on, to keep them on the webinar. That happens with, you need to get right to the point. Don't, hum around and tell a bunch of stories or wait for a bunch of people to show up. Go ahead and get right to the point and start diving into the intro that you want to do that lets them know that they are in the right place. And also future pace them of what's possible once they apply the shortcuts. Like in my case, my webinar is 5 shortcuts to 6 figures this year as a business coach on LinkedIn. It's very specific and targeted to my ideal client, and the training in there is very specific and targeted to them. And so I future paced in there. If you want to see it in action, again, just check out that webinar that I just linked in there for you. You can see just a replay of ours. future pacing to let them know what is possible once they apply the shortcuts. And throughout it as well, are your strategies to keep them on the webinar, is continue to ask engaging, soft, closed questions as you go around. Just like, does that make sense? Or do you see how this could happen for you? Do you see how this would work for you? You want to just like kind of little things like that as you go throughout it, where they're nodding their head and saying yes. You also want to make sure that you are teaching them something that they've never heard of before. I mean, a couple of your concepts can be, common, but you really want to be, at least positioning it as new information. Even if it is something that they might have heard of, position it as something new. Like in mine, I revealed the Ninja Growth System, and it is very unique and specific to the strategies that I've been using for the last, monetizing LinkedIn since 2012 as an entrepreneur. But I teach it in a way that's called the Ninja Growth System. People are like, oh, that sounds cool. What is that? I'm interested. I want to try it. And to really shift their minds to let them know that you've got a better way, and that their way is not working, or the old conventional way isn't working, and there's a new, better way. And not talking too much about you, again, or having a bunch of like endorsements or things like that. It's good to have case studies as teaching tools, but not just for bragging, or not talking too much about you, going in super, super, super deep about your story. What we use in Teacher and Ninja Growth Strategies is very much direct, problem-based marketing. And it's all about, we speak all about our ideal clients and the problems that they can solve, that they have now, and how much better that their life would be once those problems are solved. So part 3 of the webinar funnel that you've got to get right is you've got to get them to sign up for a phone call. That's the whole reason of why you're doing the webinar, is so you can get them on the phone and enroll them into your program and see if it's a good fit. So they signed up for the webinar, they stayed on for the webinar, and they even got good value out of it. Now what? You've got to crush your offer, which is the close of the webinar. Now, the way that we do and teach here is that your offer for the high ticket coaching sales, which again are $5,000 or more, at the end of your webinar should be an invitation to a free phone call, not selling directly on the webinar. Now, if you've got some product that you're doing lower ticket things, $9.97, something like that, and you want to go through a series and, give them a fast action and things like that, and do it directly on the webinar. I've done it like that myself with lower priced items and just using email marketing, and up to, I've done it that way for like 3,500 or more, 3,500 or less. But for high ticket coaching sales, you want to really be able to know who you're letting into your program and make sure that it's a good fit for you and them both. So your offer for the high ticket, so your offer for the high ticket coaching sales at the end of the webinar should be for the phone call. And now this phone call is not just any phone call. It's a phone call that will offer to help them get this started for free. So you teach them the 5 shortcuts, and then heads up, at the end of my webinar, I do invite you onto a free breakthrough call. And that phone call will help them get that started for free. See what that would look like for them. And this is a chance to talk with you or your sales team one-on-one, that they can take what they've learned in the webinar, like those 5 shortcuts in my example, and see if it's a good fit for them, see what it would look like for their business, and map out a personalized plan for them. Now, I'm going to cover, heads up, the big piece number 5 in my 5 big pieces to converting high-ticket clients from cold traffic on LinkedIn in 48 hours or less, working just 5 to 10 hours a week and making $25,000 per month or more, is the phone call. So on tomorrow's lesson and tomorrow's live video, I'm going to be going into those things in detail, some key parts of the phone call that you've got to get right to be able to do that, because you've got to get every part of this funnel working and all of these big pieces and the little details of each one of them for it to be your reality. Or else you could be like that guy that I was talking about earlier that just stays, it's impossible, you can't do it. Well, it is possible. Now, so the free phone call is not just for everyone as well. You want to make sure that you pre-qualify your prospects on the webinar, again, with who this is for and who this is not for. Then you've got to use some cleverly crafted words to compel them to take action, to book the call with you, and to actually show up for that call ready to go. So that is the third part of the webinar. Now, part 4 is you've got to record your webinar and automate it as well. So what's great about this on LinkedIn is that using the Ninja Growth System, you're going to always consistently be reaching out to new prospects and sending that webinar invite to over 1,000 brand new targeted connections every single month. Wow. So with no advertising. That's what you're able to do with the Ninja Growth System on LinkedIn with zero ad spend. So even though the webinar is not new to you, it will be new to them because it's a new person. So make sure not to date it, as I made the mistake of doing whenever I did record my webinar 2.5 years ago now. That has been the backbone of my business. Is I did say 2017 on my last slide, and I even ran that most of 2018 that way, and then I did edit that last little slide and to just say your big leap year. So don't date it, try not to date it in any way like that. And as long as the information is still relevant, it's still working, and that webinar is converting, then that's all that you need is just that one webinar, and you're constantly sending new traffic to it. So the good news is that, even if you're not a world-class copywriter, speaker, or presenter, you only need one really great webinar that is converting. And that has been, in fact, the backbone of my business, and it's been built with one webinar, the one that I just posted a link there for y'all in the comments. So if you want to check that out as well. And welcome to everybody who's been coming on, and let me know, post in the comments, do you have any questions about the webinar strategy? Have you tried a webinar? Is it working for you? Has it not been working for you? What have been your struggles? And see, is this information helpful for you? So a lot of experts will fail at this webinar piece though, and they'll think that, it doesn't work, this strategy. Again, if it's not working, it is working. If it's not working, there's something the matter with your webinar. So go back through this lesson and see what it is. And then instead of it being a secret weapon for them, it actually goes to being a serious flop. And I'm not trying to giggle here or make sure that that's not as serious as it is, because it is very serious. Whenever you spend a lot of time on a webinar and maybe you paid traffic for it or advertising and it converts you 0 phone calls and 0 clients, that's a serious situation. And we definitely don't want that to happen to you. So a lot of the experts that we work with think that since they're so great at, because they're really good at what they do, and think that they're so great at teaching classes and delivering professional content, that they can create a converting marketing or sales webinar. Or a lot of times that they'll just copy somebody else's webinar, like maybe look at mine, and then try to piece it together themselves, and they're unable to get it converting because it doesn't make sense for them. It ends up not making sense for their target audience, or they miss out on their own uniqueness that is required. And we help our clients make sure that their webinar is unique, because that is what's required for attracting and converting your ideal clients and standing out from the competition. It's to not be a copycat of everybody else. So heads up, a converting webinar and a teaching presentation are in fact 2 very different things. Make no mistake about it, a converting webinar involves copywriting. And copywriting is writing copy and speaking in a certain way that sells. That's what's considered copywriting. And that's the #1 skill that I learned, and that I recommend everybody learns as an entrepreneur, coach, or consultant. But the problem is that most coaches and consultants and entrepreneurs are not world-class copywriters. I get it. I was there too whenever I first started out online 10 years ago. And the great news is copywriting is an acquired skill. I doubled down on this skill about 7 years ago by working with the best and launching tons of cold traffic email and LinkedIn campaigns for my own businesses that I've started and sold, and for my clients as well in a variety of industries. It was a learned skill, and it's been a multi-million-dollar asset for me, and it can be for you too. I learned it by working with the best, and you can learn it by working with the best as well. In fact, in module 3 of the Business Coach Accelerator, an 8-week program that we have here that helps expert coaches or consultants or just experts in general be able to establish a portable, profitable coaching business and get clients and leads and sales on autopilot online using LinkedIn. And these strategies here. So in module 3 of the Business Coach Accelerator is the call booking funnel, and we will teach you exactly how to communicate to your ideal clients with our golden rules of client communication. Now, these golden rules truly are gold for our clients. My golden rules of client communication will teach you exactly what to say and what not to say and how to say it. It is a major mindset shift and skill set shift for most of the experts that we work with who, again, they're great at what it is that they do, but they're not so great at marketing or selling or pricing themselves. They've been spending a lot of time on LinkedIn or online or at networking, and they're not getting anywhere. It is because they're not using the golden rules of client communication. They're making these major mistakes every single time. So if you want access to the golden rules of client communication on the inside of the Business Coach Accelerator so you can get that leg up and get my help creating your messages, then go to ninjagrowthstrategies.com/growth and book a call to speak with us. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and pop that in here as well so you can see if that is, we can talk about it and see if it would be a good fit. Hi, Kenny. Good to see you here. Life Coach for Life and Dr. Ken. Good to see you here. Thanks for saying hi. And let me know, have you tried the webinar strategy before? Are you trying to get clients from LinkedIn? Is it working for you? Is it not? But so what we also do, not only will we teach you the golden rules of client communication and help you create your messages, in module number 5 of the Business Coach Accelerator, I will give you my very own secret authority webinar formula, and we'll work with you slide by slide to create an expert converting webinar. I just got off my live weekly client calls, and without a doubt, that's what we do is we go through the webinar slide by slide, starting with the outline first, then we help you put it into slides, then we help you record it, and we help you automate it. Every bit of it with an expert, and so that way you can have that expert converting webinar. And so you can have that secret weapon and not that flop, that serious flop. So the webinar that what we're talking about helping you create here is one that will position you as the expert and the only one that they need, and has your ideal clients booking calls with you and actually showing up on those phone calls pre-sold with their credit card in hand. Happy to work with you. Woohoo! All my clients come through the webinar funnel. Woohoo! This is real money that, well, represents real money that we made here in the past month or so. Woohoo! Moving my stacks. So even when they don't know who you were 24 hours before, none of my clients have I met in person, and none of them have I met, did I meet out and about? Yeah, we do get some from referrals. I'm not going to say that we don't, because we do, but they come through the webinar funnel, and the majority of them come from LinkedIn, and they had no idea who I was before. So if you do want my help creating your one piece of killer content, that secret weapon authority webinar that will convert high ticket clients for you, and my help automating it for you with the Ninja Growth System, so that way you're constantly driving new leads, calls, sales, and 5 to 10 high paying clients to you each month into your business, go ahead and schedule that free breakthrough call with us. And again, that is at ninjagrowthstrategies.com/growth, ninjagrowthstrategies.com/growth. I think I typed the link in the comments, and I'll maybe put it up above this video. So we'll get on the phone with you on this free breakthrough call, and for about 45 minutes. And this is where we're going to be talking about you and your business. It's going to be dedicated time for you. We're going to talk about your offer, your pricing, your messaging, your marketing, your sales system, what's working for you right now, what isn't, where you want to go. Even if you're brand new right now and you don't have anything in place, but you are on the journey of leaving your full-time job and starting your own expert coaching business or mentoring business online, then we can help you. can talk with you and see if it's a good fit. So if after speaking with you, we're confident that the Ninja Growth System will work for you and we both agree that it's a good fit, listen, we may invite you into the Business Coach Accelerator to help you with these things more closely. But we may not. And if we do, we'll map out these exact phases that we take our clients through to implement this funnel and get it converting to $25,000 per month sometimes in as fast as 8 weeks in my 8-week boot camp. But some clients hit that mark in their very first couple of weeks, and some even make some of them even made $60,000 in their first 3 weeks, and over $100,000 in that 8-week period. So obviously, we're very, very, very picky about who we invite in when we're talking about results that big, because honestly, everybody can't get those kind of results. They might not have that skill level to demand that. And space is extremely limited because we do work very, very, very closely with our clients in the Business Coach Accelerator, so that way we can work with them slide by slide to help them get these results. So we may not invite you in if we speak to you. Just want to make sure that you know that about 40% of the people that we speak with, they're just not qualified. Either their skill level isn't up to what we're looking for, or their dedication or their commitment level. So if we don't invite you in, don't take it as an insult or anything like that. Just we'll point you in the right direction of what would be the right help for you. And either way on this call, you're going to get tons of clarity out of it and value on this call. And you're going to know more than what you know now. You're going to know, hey, will the Ninja Growth System work for me or won't it? Am I qualified for the Business Coach Accelerator or am I not? Either way, you're definitely going to get tons of value out of it. And we're going to do our best to point you in the right direction so you can get the help that's most appropriate for you. And you're going to know more than what you know now, so it is a win-win. If you're struggling to get clients now and know that you need to make a change, maybe it's time you talk with our expert coaching team here at Ninja Growth Strategies. It is your call, and you can schedule that with us at ninjagrowthstrategies.com. And heads up, space is always super limited on there. We did just open up some new spots because we were already booked solid this week. And it is very limited for these free calls, and they do always fill up. So if you see a spot open, go ahead and grab it. Pick one of the first ones that you see and book your appointment with us today. So that is the big piece number 5, and that's the big piece number 4. So I will be revealing tomorrow morning in my email the big piece number 5, which is I went ahead and hinted today and let y'all know about it. It is the phone call, because you've got to get that phone call right, or else even if you've got your offer right, you've got your targeting right, you've got your messaging right, you nailed the webinar, if you're not nailing that phone call, your enrollment calls or your sales call process, then you're not going to be able to convert those high ticket clients into cold traffic in as little as 48 hours or less. You're not going to be able to help people that way. So you've got to nail that as well. So I'm going to hit the key points of that for you that you need to hit in tomorrow's lesson. And so I'm going to do my best to come on here live for y'all in the group as well. With that, it's always Fridays. I like to get out of here. I'm going up to Malibu for the weekend and have a lot of fun there. So we will, but definitely check my LinkedIn for the article and the email list as well, and we'll get that information to you. But if you want to speak with us one-on-one now about your marketing strategy and see if the Ninja Growth System will work for you, then don't wait. Don't wait. Schedule your free coaching business breakthrough call with us now at ninjagrowthstrategies.com. And again, it is free, but we only have limited availability in the next 24 hours, so spaces will fill up fast. And that is about all that I've got for y'all today. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm just checking the chat here. And if y'all are still on, if you have any questions, those of you who do, and then if you're watching this in the group, invite other members to join the Art of Attracting High Ticket Clients on LinkedIn. Just click and invite other experts, coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs who will get value out of these videos. And if you're watching this on LinkedIn, go ahead on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to my channel as well, so that way you can get notifications of when we are releasing our new live contents. And I think this was a great class. Who wants to give some loves and some likes? I think it was a great class of how to get your webinar converting, and what happens whenever you get it right and what happens when you get it wrong. I love sharing information to help y'all succeed. Talk soon. Myranda Love signing out.